Hey everyone, this is Mike here at the QuiverCast. Special offer for you all. The Endless Summer box set. It's written by Dana Brown and signed by Bruce Brown. This is such a killer deal. Go on to theendlesssummerbook.com. Check it out. Hey everybody, welcome to the QuiverCast.
You go left, I go right. Man, this wave is out of sight. Going surfing, going surfing, going surfing with friends.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the QuiverCast. We are super excited today. We have Balaram Stack. How are you, Balaram?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Dude, I'm super excited. A big fan. Charge, and I'm a goofy foot too, so.
Hell yeah. Right foot forward.
That's right. Hey, so I had a little time today. So I went deep, dude. I went deep on your Instagram. Like to the beginning. It's so funny. You remember your first post?
I do somehow. I remember the night. I remember everything.
Oh, that's funny.
I think, anyways, it was a surfboard, right?
Yeah. Like all tagged up and everything.
Yeah. That was hilarious. I remember Instagram being so funny at the start. Like, it was like such a way to edit your photos.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like you'd send it, you'd have like 6 of your friends on there and be like all conscious about you. You'd never post anything of yourself. That was like the worst, like ever. Like if you did that, you were cut.
Dude, it was so funny. I just started going down them. And a few things I learned about you, at least back, I guess it's been like 2011, I think is your first post, something around that. So 12 years ago.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I was like 17.
Okay. So here's what there's a few things.
No, I was a little older, I guess.
Yeah, you're probably in your 20s or just turning like 19, 20.
Yeah.
Right? So how old are you now? 30?
32 now.
32. Okay. So 12 years. So you were like 19.
Yeah.
If the math's done right. Okay. So I have to start this way because I was like fascinated. Here's what I learned about you. You love pizza. You love like New York pizza.
Because there's
quite a few pictures of you and pizza.
It's it's what I look forward to when I get home a lot of times.
Okay. And beer. You like beer. Or you liked it. I don't know if you still do.
Yeah, no, I'm easy. I definitely love myself a good pint, but
okay. Or a few pints.
Yeah, start with one. Gotta start somewhere.
And this is the fascinating one, all right? You love chicks in high heels.
Yeah. Yeah, hilarious. We were all hyping each other up. We were like, whoever. It was like honestly like a crew of like 15 of us, and like it was basically like a group chat for a long time.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, that's kind of how it felt.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
There's several pictures of chicks in high heels.
Yeah. Just liked it, liked the aesthetic.
All right, right on. So, what makes a surfer from New York different from everywhere else in the world?
I mean, when I was growing up, the biggest difference I saw was that I didn't even know that like a small town could have such a big surf culture before I went to California.
Okay.
And so once I first went to California, I'm like, you guys have surfing on your high school team? You guys go surf after school as like an activity? Like you even have it as a class? Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
I never even knew it was possible, you know? And so I think we had a rich culture, but it was really small over in New York. You know, we had like the 10, 15 guys that surfed in the winter and hung at the shop. And for me, I think that was like the biggest eye-opening thing. But like, as I traveled and learned more and realized that we don't really have waves most of the year as to where you can surf almost every day in California.
Mm-hmm.
So like you start to appreciate the and then you don't see waves as good in California as you do at home. So, or I didn't for a long time.
Yeah.
And so like, then it was like, oh yeah, we started weighing out the options. I was like, damn, I really got something special at home. Like it gets really good, even though it gets flat for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool too. But same time, you go to the New York City and like, you can ask someone on the street if they know that there's an ocean in New York, and they will be like totally baffled.
Yeah, just
So,
oblivious to it.
yeah, it doesn't have the knowledge like California does. Like that shit is as big as school sports.
Yeah.
It's grown a lot. It's growing like crazy. We actually do have a surf team now, and like we have a couple surf teams. Jersey's been on it for a while. So,
Mm-hmm. Is there a rivalry between you and Jersey? You meaning New Yorkers?
I mean, maybe lightly, but
Okay.
like,
Friendly? Kinda?
yeah.
Yeah.
One thing's funny, I'll tell you though. They had the grudge match. It was like just for Jersey guys,
Okay.
and they started doing a Grom grudge. It was like an invite contest, and they
Mm-hmm.
started doing a Grom grudge, and like Gleason and Hammer pretty much won every year, I think. But
Okay.
like most years, it seemed. But the Grom grudge, they allowed me in,
Mm-hmm.
and if you won the Grom grudge, you get a spot in the grudge match.
Okay.
They didn't give me the spot.
Oh, shit. Because you were from New York.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So, I mean, no, it's all friendly. They come up to us when it's firing. We go down to them when it's firing.
Okay. Is it basically the same beach break, heavy kind of winter cold beach breaks?
Similar style.
Okay.
It's kind of like if one's good, the other isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of do it like that. But
Okay.
similar style for sure.
So do you call those guys up and check in? Like, how's the swell? It's shitty here.
Yeah, we'll communicate for sure. I mean, Mike Gleason and Sam Hammer have been kind of like not just in our hometowns, but a kind of mentor throughout the whole process, and so I've definitely owe a lot of just searching wave knowledge, all that shit to those guys, and they opened my world to a lot of that. So I talk to them a bit for sure.
Even make the East Coast a little bigger. So you have places up north. You have Maine and some of these more wild areas. Do you go up there often and surf?
Yeah, there's a big coast. It's a huge coast, and there's some waves. Like I'm sure you've seen Short Sands.
Yeah.
The left wedge they got up there. That one's really fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big coast for sure.
Do you enjoy like driving up and down or going down to Florida or like North Carolina, hitting the Outer Banks or anything?
Yeah, man. The Outer Banks is a good one. We try to do that once a year, and it's like
Okay. Still?
eight
You're still
eight to
doing
10
it?
hours. Yeah, for sure. In September, October, it's
Okay.
kind of the time. I don't make it past the Outer Banks too often unless it's like a tour, that stops everywhere. But yeah, Outer Banks is a good one. It's like an 8 to 10 hour drive, and pile everyone in for like the weekend or a few days, however long the waves are up, and go score and come back. And it's like full surf trip.
West Coast, most people are grouped down in the Southern California area. They have Santa Cruz and stuff, but it's kind of spread out. East Coast, you guys are all known as being East Coasters. Is it more spread out though than like California, right?
I mean, for sure, being from the East Coast, it means you're from the East Coast.
Right.
The East Coast as a whole is one.
Yes.
And I think that's a big difference to the West Coast for sure. Like California kind of feels like it has like multiple states within
Mm-hmm.
its own deal. So I don't know, maybe to deny that it doesn't feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, and too, East Coast has kind of like an appreciation for bad waves, I guess, as to West Coast doesn't seem to have that same appreciation or lack of waves, I should say.
Yeah. How much notice do you have before it like really turns on at home? Is it pretty short?
It's like it's funny. Instead of storms coming across the ocean
Right.
to wherever you're going,
Yeah.
it spins off the coast and gives like 12 hours of onshore wind and then 12 hours of offshore wind.
Wow.
And like you got to line up like a tide and a daylight and when the wind turns and all that. So it's never really guaranteed, but I'd say you can be most confident like 3 days out, maybe.
Okay. So like in California or a lot of places in the world, 2 weeks in advance, you have a good guess that it's going to happen.
You got way more of a forecast, way
Yes.
longer out, but we've gotten good. You're able to like see the storm come across the coast, and then it's just a matter of how high or low it's going to land on the ocean.
Right on. All right. So you started your life in Florida, but you moved to New York.
Yeah. So my mom's one of 10. She's Irish Catholic growing up. She was like got out of the house when she was like 17, lived all over the country, and when I came around, she was living next to an ashram in Florida near Sebastian. she grew really close to the guru Maljara that kind of just had this big following, and she kind of had like an everyone's welcome kind of setup. And I left when I was about 5,
Yeah.
so I was young at the time, but we went back and visited a bunch, and it was
Okay.
just like beautiful temples and I don't know, a pretty cool piece of land. But Ma would just be, I remember her just telling stories and kind of like throwing fire, having the fire puja, you'd throw rice in the fire puja. And, but yeah, that was just like, that. Honestly, that was like a pretty small portion of my mom's life.
Right.
But we moved up to New York to come live with my grandma. My mom had to come take care of my grandma, so we lived with her in Point Lookout in 97. I think
Mm-hmm.
we were up here by. And then, yeah, we never left.
Were you stoked for that and being in New
Uh,
York?
Honestly, I think I was young enough to just
Yeah.
like,
Slide into it, kind of.
just kind of, yeah, just kind of like life was happening type of
Yes.
thing. Like, I didn't really know better or worse. Like, now I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I love New York. I don't think I'll ever leave if I don't have to.
Okay. And your brothers, you have older brothers, right?
Yeah, I got 2 older brothers. They both surf.
Yeah.
The oldest one has a sick, like, Tom Curran style. He
Oh,
fucking
wow. Okay.
rips.
Okay.
My oldest one's named Red Hanuman, and my middle one is Skanda, who also surfs and rips. He's a goofy footer as well, though.
Cool. So, how much older are they?
We're pretty spaced out. We grew up in the same house, but my brother Skanda is 10 years older, and then Red's like 16 years older.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, real spread out. Are they still
Yeah.
surfing today?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So, you guys still get a session together?
Yeah, definitely. I actually live with my brother Skanda now, so
Okay.
I got an apartment under his house. We take the skis out and go dive or surf or fish or whatever, kind of always.
So, you guys kind of live the same lifestyle.
For sure. Yeah, he sells mortgages though, and my oldest brother works on tugboats.
Oh, wow. Okay. All three of you guys have this ocean environment that you accustomed to.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure. My mom had us at the beach from day one, and that's like been our lives ever since.
Yeah. Well, I think when you have young kids, there's no better babysitter than the beach, right?
It's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
pretty. Other than you not being able to swim yet, it's pretty much like pain free.
So, can you see like New York City proper from your house?
You can on like the bridge. If you go up on like the bridge nearby, you can see, or maybe if you got on top of the roof or something.
Okay.
But yeah, you could see on a clear day. You see the skyline, and it's pretty far. It's like 30 miles or 40 miles.
Yeah, it seems far, but it's that's not that far.
Right.
Yeah.
You could see it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool. How different is the environment from where you live to that 30 or 40 miles away? Completely different
I
worlds?
mean, it's different world, but it's pretty epic to have it so close.
Mhm.
It's like you're very much so still in New York when you go out to Long Island, but the city is like the hustle and bustle of New York City. It's the epicenter of the world. It's got like a little piece of every part of the world in it. It seems.
Okay.
So having that right there is cool. It's a polar opposite to where I'm at. I'm in like a suburb with like a little beach town and on the bay, and yeah, it's kind of a little bit slower, but hour door to door, and you're in the city.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like you embrace the city. You love it.
I do. I do. It's great. I lived for a couple years in the city, and it was like I did like I don't know a year or two of kind of just getting the lay of the land and just doing a lot of partying, but a lot of just exploring, meeting people, and it's a big city, but it's pretty fucking small when like you meet someone who knows your buddy from the town over, or
Okay.
like you went on a trip with this guy's best friend, or like
Okay.
like this kind of feels like there's a lot of instances like that, and so that kind of just kept snowballing. And then I got another apartment once my lease was up through a friend of a friend who had sold this building, got us in a 2-bedroom apartment with a fireplace for $1,000 a piece.
Wow.
And it was like, so we'd live that out. Then the new owner went in and it was like 3,500 a piece. So we bounced. But during that time, I was on my bike because I had just had my labrum fixed in my hip. I was just like mobbing through the city thinking I was like one of the OG messenger guys, like as fast as I could go. Like I was watching these old videos on YouTube, and it's like the alley cat races.
Mhm.
It's like these like underground messenger races, and
Yeah.
I was just laid up in bed, like like just envisioning myself being one. And then I got on a bike and would do like 30-mile laps every day around the city.
Wow. What'd you learn? Different food, different cultures? Like,
I learned that you could eat like a king every meal of the day in any culture you want.
okay, there you go. That's pretty
You
rad.
know, it's pretty epic. It's like there's a good spot for everything, it seems. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like you can never spend enough time there. Like, I mean, a lot of people don't like it, can't handle the stress of it or whatever and all that, but people come through 2 days, 3 days at a time and they leave. They're like, oh, I didn't even like,
Yeah.
I need like 2 weeks minimum or something, you know?
Right, 100%.
So
Yeah.
much going on. It'll never end in that sense.
How hard was it to get like waves if they turned on quickly and you're in the city? Was that a challenge?
It's pretty easy. Like I said, you got like 2-3 days till you know it's gonna be
Okay.
good. And all my stuff was at my mom's at the time, like all my boards and
Oh, okay.
sweatsuits. Either way, it's easy. I would drive mostly too. You could take the train; it takes the same amount of time pretty much, but you're just on the train schedule instead of your own.
But you're not able to check it physically. I guess there's Surfline now, but
Yeah,
this.
you just call someone. Somebody's always up there.
Okay. So you didn't miss living the check those surf environment lifestyle.
I mean, no, I was still doing trips and stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I would get my fix on a trip and then come home and just
Rest.
yeah, I'd be pretty much, you know,
Yeah.
just either chill, get on my bike, and then get on the next trip. If there was waves around, it'd be easy to get to.
You being from New York, did that help with your traveling? Like understanding different cultures easier?
Yeah, that probably started with my mom before New York, though,
Okay.
I would say. You know, like the ashram literally had an everyone's welcome environment. They had a temple for every religion. They like,
Really? Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she was like a caretaker in one of the and they had like a hospice type of house, I guess.
Okay.
And then people with like terminal illness would come kind of finish their life there. And I was like an infant, and I'd just be in like the sandbox hanging with whoever wants to hang.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of different people there. Is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So you kind of weren't like culturally just centered around like whatever people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there wasn't one
Yeah.
culture growing up at all.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. What about traveling? What was your first like big trip?
Going to California for the first time was pretty crazy. Like, I think I was about 12. I went for the VQS, the Volcom VQS.
Uh-huh.
And we went down to Lowers. I remember going down. I hadn't even surfed a Point Break yet, and I went down. I went down to Lowers, and it was like 2 foot and like onshore, nobody around. And there's these like 4 kids from New York, who, like, can't believe our eyes. Like, it breaks in the same spot every time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What the fuck? And we surfed for so long. I had like the craziest bleeding rashes, and like I didn't even notice them. I got out of the water. I surfed for like 7 hours, and like what? Couldn't believe it though.
Yeah. How did you do in the contest?
That's why we went to Lowers. All of us lost first heat.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, it was held out in Newport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 54th Street or something. Okay, so was it crowded? And how'd you deal with the crowd?
At Lowers,
Yeah,
there was
Lowers.
nobody out. It was that bad. There was literally nobody out.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of scored actually.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was, for my standards, it was insane.
Okay.
I didn't know anything at the time. I was like, holy shit, you guys get to surf this every day?
Besides California, where's your like first international?
I did my first trip to Puerto Rico. That was with Quicksilver for like a photo shoot, and my mom came, and it was just like full photo shoot style catalog deal, I guess, you know. Dane was there. I was like all starstruck, didn't even know if I could talk to him and shit. I was like, fuck, guy's not even saying what up. Should I say what up?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were like little groms, like, but
Well, he's kind of a quiet guy anyhow, kind of, right?
I suppose, yeah, I hope so.
Oh, are you friends with him now?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's cool. I've come to meet him over the course of the years.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, he's the man.
So you do this whole photo shoot, but you didn't score good waves, or?
I mean, we got some fun waves. So I guess the first time I really scored waves was going to Hawaii for the first year.
Mm.
And show up with like 4 5 2s. I'm in the Quicksilver house with Reef and Fuller and Healy, and Reef's like, "What do you expect to do with that?" And I was just like, "I don't know. I never ordered a board bigger than this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no clue." And then he like gave me some of his hand-me-downs and was able to like kind of like at least be out in the lineup at Pipe. And then the next year I got some of my own from Arakawa and was able to feel a bit more comfortable.
What was your first thought surfing pipe?
Well, my first time being actually in the water with Pipe was with Keanu Singh.
Mm-hmm.
I went out again with Quicksilver, and we stayed at Keanu and his sister and his dad Tommy and mom and everyone at the house there. And Tommy was like the best teacher of like respect, Hawaiian values, the culture, and that was like our introduction to it. And it was like my mom was like fell in love with the place.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
but yeah, so Keanu and I pal out at Aukai, and it's like onshore east wind swell shit waves. You can't even tell the difference between Pipe and Aukai.
Okay.
So we're surfing and we kind of drift over, the current's going into Pipe, and I look in, I see the Fulcrum House, and I'm like,
Uh-oh.
oh shit, we're out here? Like, what the fuck? It was like the same kind of waves, and I was just like all nervous all of a sudden, like, what's about to happen? But mind you, too, this is the second session I've ever had over Reef. The first session was at Tracks on the east side.
Okay.
So now I'm over Reef, and I'm like tripping. I'm like, do I like go on a wave? Like, is this a spot? Like, is there a lineup? Like, I don't know. I was tripping. Even my mom on the beach too realized. She said that she realized. She was like, Tommy, what are they doing? Are they going in? Like, what's going on?
Oh, wow.
But it was all good. It was funny for first sesh.
Yeah. So you eventually become one of the guys like at Pipe. That process took years and years, but do you remember kind of starting to get more and more waves there? Like you're kind of accepted?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, like it was a slow process
Of
for sure.
course.
It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was probably like the most fortunate to have Reef and Fuller and Healy in the house, kind of like just telling me what not to do, basically.
Okay.
And then like Reef had me out, like he was basically like, it was big, second reefing, not good, nobody out, and he's like, go ahead, paddle out, like why not? No one's out, and I'm like, I don't. It's all white water. Like, how the fuck do you get out? Like, like I was just like, what the hell? And then he's like, if you just keep paddling, like, eventually it lets you out. And so he paddled out with me, and eventually it opened up and let us out. It was like, wow, that was easier than I thought, or like that was way less scary than I thought.
Okay.
So that kind of like opened it up, and then once you're out, I guess when it's that big, it's like no size is really gonna intimidate you as much as the crowd.
Yeah.
I think that was a good place to start. And then it was just getting comfortable. You're just like, I don't know, you just tread lightly and find your spots in the lineup. And then all of a sudden, like me and Cristobal were kind of same age in the house, same time. And we got to kind of be on the same program. And I think we kind of fed off each other and tried to like push ourselves deeper and would paddle out when someone else didn't want to paddle out. And
You're known for surfing Pipe, but is Pipe your favorite wave in Hawaii, or do you have like something else you like to surf somewhere else?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of good waves.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, staying on the beach at Pipe, it's real hard to leave. Like there's so many different. I mean, later in life, like when I was younger, it'd be like I'd only surf Pipe like one day a week or something.
Yeah.
You surf everywhere, but as time went on, Pipes, you get more waves at Pipe, you kind of get more desire there and all that. So
okay.
And then you're staying on the beach at Pipe, it makes it pretty dang
easy and good, yeah.
Fuck, you find the windows, and that's the biggest thing I think with staying there is you find windows with nobody out, and that's the program I like to be on. But yeah, I don't know, it feels too damn good, I guess, when you get a wave of Pipe. Kind of stay there most of the time nowadays.
Traveling around the world, where are the places you've been? Too many to list?
Yeah, I don't even think I'd remember all of them, but I haven't been to Russia.
Okay. You want to go surf Russia?
I was looking into waves there like a few years
I'm
ago,
sure
but
they have good waves, probably.
there was a trip there, like a mag trip a while ago that went and got some waves. Haven't been to like the East Cape of Africa,
Mm,
and I would really like to go explore some more of Japan.
okay.
Japan's got some really cool zones.
Now, Japan is the culture surf friendly? How do they treat outsiders?
I think they hold it down in a lot. I haven't really explored much, but like
Okay.
from afar, like I think they hold it down pretty hard. But it just seems kind of like a pretty true surf culture, like
Yeah.
which is kind of like if you're not stupid, you won't be in a stupid situation.
Yeah. That's pretty much anywhere in the world, though, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got some crazy looking zones for really good waves, and like a lot of places that are in the cold, in the snow, like in the warm. They kind of have it all.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, I just interviewed this guy, Neil Purchase Jr., and he's like, he said some of his best waves ever in Japan. I'm like, what?
I believe it.
You think of Indo or something like that. I'd
Right?
guess. Okay, so your early career, you were known as a contest guy. Did you enjoy doing contests back in the day?
Yeah. I definitely like competing. I like the camaraderie of it probably most of
Oh,
all.
okay.
I mean, it kind of just seemed like the way. It was like you go, you do amateur comps, that brings you to California. It was just like a means of getting out of the Northeast,
Makes
kind of
sense.
seemed.
Yeah.
And then as you do that, sponsors see you because you're in these contests, and then the surf shop helps you with the contests, and that's kind of the route. It seemed like a good route to get into the surf industry because
To get noticed?
we didn't really know much about it at all in the first place.
Right.
Like,
It's a means of getting noticed, I guess.
for sure. I mean, I definitely like competing. Like, it feels good to win, for sure. It feels good to kind of just make a heat. It gives you like a different kind of fire than going out and free surfing and, like doing the biggest air you can. You got a new objective, and it's definitely rewarding in its own way.
Did you ever chase the QS?
I did, yeah. I never really did much with my contests. I went like amateur. I did like nationals and all that.
Yep.
I got a couple events here and there that I did pretty well.
Yeah.
And then I did the junior pros and was able to get through some of those. Graduated the QS, did the QS for like 5 years or so. And I think it happened at a good time in the age of social media and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But was doing these contests and then not making many heats, not surfing good waves, and then I got hurt, missed a few contests, kind of didn't do the year, and like got some good waves, and kind of like rolled into more free surf trips. And the mags were still around. Doing a mag trick was as good as doing well in a contest.
Right. Probably even better because you're noticed,
exactly.
in a lot of ways.
Totally.
I mean, I've heard your name forever, it seems like. And probably, just like you said, from the mags. There's a lot of guys on the contest scene. If they're not winning the contest, you don't know who they are.
Totally.
So
nowadays, I mean, they got more budget in it, so you can kind of make a living if you're not making every heat. But
but not barely. I don't know.
Right. Not much. But like, I don't know. I see the free surf zone is like the luckiest thing to happen. You get to surf the best waves in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
you can pick where you want to go, right? For the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I essentially like you kind of have trips pop up here and there, but you're always looking for where it's going to be firing. And that's essentially a big part of your job.
Yeah.
You can call it that.
Yeah. Traveling, does that make you long for being home? Like if you're gone for a long time, are you yearning to get home, or do you kind of just love traveling?
There was definitely a long portion of my life traveling that I knew home was always going to be there and didn't care to get back because I was somewhere
it's scoring
up. There was never like a sacrifice to be home for somewhere else. Nowadays, my brother's got kids. There's just kind of a lot more going on at home, and it's just, I mean, I always kind of made it the home base, more so the home base now, I'd say. Like, I kind of go in between trips, spend more time here.
And does it help that New York has a lot of publicity when the swell's good? 20 years ago, you wouldn't see New York, the pictures that are like what's happening, like you do today.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Mike Nelson he's from Unsound Surf Shop. That's the surf shop I grew up
I
with.
know the name. Yeah.
He's been shooting photos a lot longer than I've been around,
Yeah.
and he always wanted to amplify surfing in New York and kind of like get it on the map, get his shop on the or whatever it was. Have the pros come to New York to surf the waves because he knew the waves were fucking good,
Yeah.
and he got really barreled himself.
Yeah.
When I was around, he would go surf Lido, get barreled off his head before anybody showed up, come pick me up at school with Carlson, and then we'd go surf, and he would shoot the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, he was pretty sick like that. It was like shooting film in the snow and shit. And like,
That's crazy. Surfing that
but
shit's crazy.
yeah, it's fun.
With that being said, when they ran that, I don't know, I think only once they did the New York contest for the WSL. I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago or something. You're probably just.
Yeah, I was 20 actually. I turned 20 that week.
Okay. And the waves were good, from what I
Yeah,
recall.
it actually just kind of took over the Unsound Pro that had been there for years as
Gotcha.
a QS, a junior pro, a pro am. It was that same date every year.
Okay.
And this was essentially the goal for these guys, for Unsound and this Unsound Pro that they've had, is
Yeah.
to make it into a CT and have the best surfers in the world surf home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was firing though. There's been many years that contest is fired, but it was unique in that it was long period going across the whole beach.
Yeah.
Like that was a really rare condition for it. I was a wild card, but the waves didn't show up till
Yes.
after my heats.
Yeah. Did like Matt Wilkinson win or something like that? I don't remember, but I think.
Owen Wright.
Owen Wright. That's right. Owen Wright. Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember being super good and going, what the heck?
Yeah.
That's New York?
Fuck yeah! I got smoked by Kelly in my first heat.
Oh, yeah. Low seed, or you're the low seed.
Yeah, wild card seed. Smoked by Kelly in my first heat. It was like knee high, and like knee high and like blowing into the rights. I couldn't make it happen. The next heat was I got smoked by Mick, and it was like chest high chop, and like Mick started doing these big airs on the rights, and like you don't even see Mick do airs that often.
No.
Like, and he just smoked me.
So have you surfed against those guys ever after or before that? Was that your first one and only, one and done?
I think that's the one and only.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I think I've been in events that Kelly's been in, but I've never surfed against him again.
But you're the hometown guy, so all the eyes are on you. Was that stressful?
Yeah.
Or was that fun?
I mean, yeah, I was pretty nervous, but there was a good crew on the beach, but it was like raining and like 8 a.m. for my first heat.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a packed beach, but I had a crew that I was, trying to make proud that I couldn't.
Of course. Okay. You said earlier on that like the camaraderie of the contest is more important than smoking the guy down the road or whatever, right?
I mean, I can say that now easily.
Yeah.
After looking back on it, the QS eventually was like you're traveling with like 8 of your buddies and like surfing and seeing all these new places you've never seen before. I was like, damn, I kind of missed that. It was like almost like I missed high school or something, because I did 2 years of homeschool for high school, and I wouldn't replace it for anything. I would actually probably get out sooner if I really had the chance. But like at the same time, I didn't get to see a lot of those people for a long ass time, and I kind of missed that part of it.
Yeah, right on. What do you think of social media? Do you like it?
I mean, no. I mean,
I like the honesty.
Yes, because it's like become an easy way for you to like promote yourself, get yourself out there. Like you used to have to get a shot in a mag potentially on the one mag a month or something. Now you just do it yourself and like get all these views for it. So there's plus and minuses.
Yeah.
I think overall it's pretty bad. It's like killed magazines and stuff and killed a lot of the culture of surfing, I think, but it's all come around, I believe. Like no one's gonna forget about mags and the value they had, and there's still mags around that have that same value. It's just that's not valued in dollars anymore.
So then what do you think about surf media now? You got Stab, you got Surfer's Journal. They're kind of two different worlds completely. I mean, there's not a lot of surf media, really.
Right.
In my opinion. Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the same time, it's not that easy to like be on their main site every week or something, you know,
Mhm.
as to where it's still got a little bit of value in that sense. You're almost like you're getting a shot in a mag when you get a shot on the website, I suppose, you know. But I don't know, there seems to be a lot of drama in it and like hype, and it's just becoming exaggerated, I guess. But it's good. There's at least someone's doing it.
Yeah, I know
Like,
someone's gonna do it. Well, I know that there's other ones that aren't as big, but you know, like they're nurse show. Some of these smaller and Surfer Magazine, I heard was trying to come back or is coming back,
nice.
but it just seemed like back in your day or back in my day for sure, there was surfing and surfers. So plus you had a couple of the local mags. It, but
Yeah, ESM, surfing and surfer.
but now it seems like Stab. Everything's whatever they say is gold or
Yeah, it's kind of weird with the monopoly of it all,
monopoly of it. That's exactly right.
but I don't know. I mean, I like Stab in that they definitely try. You know,
I like
like
what they're doing, and they're
they're
trying
not
new things.
scared.
No,
They're not really scared, and they try. So it's sick.
yeah.
There could be a lot worse people in their place. That's for sure.
So do you ever get like Surfer's Journal or anything like the alternative kind of print
For
mag?
sure.
Okay.
The Surfer's Journal has it's like more value than like Surfer Mag at this point, you know, like that was like the one piece of media I think that I've gotten. I got a cover of the Surfer's Journal from
Oh,
Pasquale's a few years back,
oh
and
wow. I didn't realize. Okay.
that was like holy grail for media for me, you know, like
Yeah.
that'll forever be the holy grail for media for me.
Yeah.
The journal's got some good value to it. They hold themselves pretty true.
All right. Well, let me ask you this though. In my opinion, this is just some of their articles are hard to read. They're way over my head. Have
Yeah,
you
yeah.
tried to read some?
I definitely pick and choose what relates. Yeah, no, they go deep.
Like,
I guess there's only one when you're trying to explore a something that's kind of like, I guess, kind of small, but
yeah. No, they're doing a great job too, in their own way. But I was just, yeah,
yeah, it's funny.
wondering to be a pro surfer, to be a free surfer. There's so much thrown at us on Instagram and even Facebook or Twitter or whatever it's going on that it's hard to remember when you have a magazine. You made the cover of Surfer's Journal. It's like you'll never forget that. You hold it.
Totally. Yeah, Instagram has killed the value of like amazing clips, but like over time, I guess things have just been diluted because a lot more people are getting good, and you're able to see it as soon as it happens, and then it's like such a short-lived thing that you don't put much value into what you're seeing. Like,
Which leads me to my point of your movie Hail Mary, where you held on to your story. Kind of. Does that make sense?
I got the shirt on.
Oh yeah, there you go. Right on. Yeah, you've held on to that story. Where maybe 30 years ago you would have had every month Surfer Magazine or Surfer Magazine would do a one person kind of in depth story on them. That movie's excellent, by the way. Hail Mary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
Ben killed it.
I'm kind of glad that you're one of the guys that held on and got your story told the right way, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally. That was a cool process. It was a little like confusing at times, but it just snowballed from like having a bunch of clips to doing a longer project to doing a life piece to having my mom narrate the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those pieces that are like, you know, like then it'll never feel finished. It's hard to hear yourself talk about things and feel like you didn't even explain half of what you were talking about. And
Yeah.
I was on camera for like 4 hours and felt like I said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was on 6 hours, and I'm sure she could have talked a lot more, but she's got a lot to say, like a lot of stories. Yeah, it was good. It was like a pretty ideal piece to work on, though. You know, like it's instead of having an objective of anything else of any other kind, like your just objective is yourself, which is fun. You know, you get to put yourself and or what you want to portray yourself as, or whatever, you know, and like whatever comes out is what's there, and that kind of feels good. So, but being that it's like a documentary style piece or whatever, Ben made the music, my mom talks all these stories in it, and like I just kind of wanted it to only be seen at the premieres. The premieres are the best part of the whole process.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And like the dream after going to the first premiere was like premiere it as many places you can and then delete it.
Wow.
Because like
Okay.
You know, like that's like the dream. But like obviously you need to get more out of it. But
Right. So you can still rent it. I rented recently. I saw it before and then I watched it. And it's reasonable. So it's perfect how you have it set up.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll put anything for sale again. It's like it was cool the process, but I think you get a lot more value out of just putting it out. I
You think so?
It's like yeah,
Like
because like
YouTube you're talking?
I'm still sending a link to like friends who haven't seen it, you know, like, and it's just like I don't know, it's just like an annoying purchase, I guess.
Meh.
To
It's reasonably
It
priced.
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
No,
It should not be at all. It's like
no,
you
I
got to
don't
pay
feel
for
like it is.
quality, you know? Like I'm not trying to like say that it's not worthy of being sold, but like I think the way the world works, it's you can get more out of it elsewhere.
Well, you can get more views, but I don't know what that means, to be honest with you.
I mean, I think that turns into longevity
Okay.
in a sense, you know, like maybe not maybe short-term longevity, I guess, but
Okay.
like,
Well, I mean,
you
would you
know,
consider YouTube to be surf media because there's so much content on that?
I guess so. Yeah, there's definitely different pages of it, and that's where people put all their shit, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean, but it just goes back to like, I just wanted people to see it in the right way, and like, I
Yeah.
don't want them to see it on their phone or like, you
Yes.
know,
Yes. You need to sit down and watch it. It's good.
totally.
So everyone should rent it. You can get it on your Instagram. Is the link to
Yeah,
it?
there's a link there still for
Yeah.
sure.
Right on. You know what's funny too is there are a lot of surfers, a lot of famous surfers, but even several of the famous, like some of the most famous people, don't have a wiki page. You have a wiki page.
Oh yeah, that shit is funny. I've had that thing for a long time now, and it's been wrong the whole
Oh,
time.
it has. That's my question. I've heard rumors that shit's not true.
Nah, it says, well, the first one is that it says my net worth is like a couple mil or some shit. I'm like, well,
I didn't read that.
damn, that'd be nice, you know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I love that people think that.
Okay.
But
How many
I
brothers?
forget.
You have two brothers, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm pretty sure I read that said you had three brothers.
yeah, yeah. I don't doubt it. It's been changed a lot too, and it's a lot of it's not
Okay.
true.
All right. But it's still cool, I
Yeah,
think. What the
yeah,
hell?
totally. I'm up there. I made it.
You
I'm on the
made it.
Wikipedia.
Exactly. And fishing. How important is fishing in your life?
It's pretty big part of my life for sure. I mean, I fished my whole life. We catch striped bass over here
Hmm.
forever, and my brother and I have been going on the skis for like, I guess once we got the ski, it was like 15 years ago,
Okay.
maybe 12 years ago or something.
Hmm.
So once that opened our world up, we never had a boat before that, so that opened our world up pretty huge. And then he went and got like a 31 Albemarle, and we got into the tuna game,
Mm.
and that pretty much opened our world even more. And then we started diving and doing
Mm.
the spearfishing deal, and so it's become like a new. I mean, the diving is a new found kind of obsession
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I love it. It's like, I mean, I love getting fish on the boat more than anything.
Hmm.
But like tomorrow we're going out for tuna or for we like to get a swordfish, a tuna, whatever we can find. But we're trying to get some tuna.
Okay.
We bring all dive gear, all fish gear. We just want to do whatever it takes to get a fish on the boat.
So like Mother Nature dictates what you're gonna get, kind of thing.
For sure, for sure.
Okay. Right on. And pets. Did you have an alligator?
Yeah, yeah. I was pet American alligator.
Okay. What the hell?
It showed up to the house like 2 days after ordering. My buddy ordered it. I was living with a few friends in Long Beach, and
Okay.
my buddy ordered it off some black magic website or some shit. And like UPS pulls up with a styrofoam box with some holes in it, and like
No.
open it, and the little thing pokes its head out, and we're like, "No way, it's real!" We couldn't believe it. And then we had it for like a year and a half, and like took it on skateboard rides.
Yeah, I saw that.
It came and hung with us after the bars every night. We fed it like all kinds of little meat and whatever piece of meat.
Oh wow.
It was cool. It didn't get any bigger, I think, because of the tank size.
Okay.
But eventually, my buddy's dad came and got it and brought it to like a nature preserve or something.
Okay. So how big did it get?
I mean, it started out maybe like 1.5 feet, and it probably only grew like 3 inches or 4 inches.
Oh, okay. Okay. How big did those things get? They get big, right? Like,
As big as an American
yeah.
alligator, like 15 feet long. We were like, we had one idea to put it in the pond at the high school because there's a
Oh, it's a
big
bad
pond there.
idea.
And we were like, maybe it'll live. We're like, oh shit, it's connected to the salt water. It probably isn't gonna make it.
Oh, but I don't know that. That probably wouldn't have been a good idea, honestly.
I mean,
You
yeah,
never
we were
know what
young though,
happened.
so we had a lot of bad ideas during that time.
One thing that does fascinate me, when you think of an American, you think of a New Yorker. I do personally, right? It's a big country. We all act. The West Coast is completely different. People might say the same thing about people from LA or something. But in Hawaii, it's completely different. How were you accepted in Hawaii? Being a New Yorker, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like over time, like East Coasters kind of like found their way quite a bit over there.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what it was though. Like maybe like an appreciation for waves or appreciation, which gives you more appreciation for your surrounding, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, it was like they accepted East Coasters a lot, which was cool. So I became family with a lot of guys over there pretty fast.
Okay.
Feel like I grew up with a lot of them. Like 13 years old till now, I haven't missed a winter. So
Yeah.
it's definitely like a home away from home.
And do you have plans to keep doing that the rest of your life? Or like, do you think there's a stopping point?
I mean, I guess once they kick me out of the house, I don't know.
All right, fair.
No, I don't know. I'll still be doing it after that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Is Hawaii, the more you go, does it make it less frightening? Guessing you get scared sometimes, or it
I
gets pretty
mean, I
heavy.
think the only thing that has changed over time is like seeing more people get hurt, and like that kind of like I feel like gets into my thoughts a little more. Like just not necessarily like scared,
Yeah.
making it more scary. Like it's scary on its own. Like that's its own thing. But like definitely think about it more. Maybe it's because there's a lot more people or something. Seems like there's more people out there.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I think
sure.
that is the cause
Okay.
partially.
One of your quotes on your old going back to the early Instagram is, "People from New York know how to dance." Is that true? Are they the best dancers?
I would agree with that, but I wouldn't say I'm a best dancer by any means.
Okay.
But I don't even know what that pertains to.
It was a girl dancing on the floor in one of your old Instagrams. You're like, only
She
people
must
in
have
New
been from
York.
Cali.
I don't know. I could sit in your old Instagram and just write shit down and ask you about it. It's pretty funny.
That's hilarious. I haven't been back there in a while, I guess.
What about any other sports? Like, did your mom let you guys pick surfing, or did she kind of push you towards surfing? Not baseball or football or hockey or
No,
whatever?
my oldest brother was the first. I have like 50 something cousins, and
Yeah.
my oldest brother was the first of the whole family to surf.
Okay.
So my mom's family was always at the beach, but nobody surfed until my oldest brother came about and could.
Your mom didn't kind of persuade you to do other sports.
So yeah, so he was the first one in. So it was right as I was growing up. First thing I knew was surfing.
Mhm.
Like I didn't know. I knew the beach and surfing, and
Okay.
then like all the other sports came after.
Okay.
Eventually, I got really into baseball and hockey, and that's kind of the sports I played from when I was like 10 to 15 or so.
And how different did that feel from being an individual, you handling the ocean or you surfing?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incomparable in
Right,
a
yeah.
sense. Like, it's easy to say surfing's not a sport after playing like a team
Yes.
sport.
Yeah. Do you think it is a sport?
I mean, if it's gonna like extend my career, but like other than that, not really.
Yeah. I mean,
It's something that like feeds you more than a sport does.
yeah, I feel like it could fall off the face of the earth and people would still surf and it would just get more and more crowded still.
Yeah,
I kind
yeah,
of feel,
somehow.
I don't think you need pro surfing. I love watching
Right.
it. Don't get me wrong. And I love to see all you guys all out there, you know, the best surfers in
Nah.
the world proving themselves. But at the end of the day, if there was no more contest, I think it would still be crowded. I don't know,
Yeah,
my opinion.
yeah. People love to do it because they love to do it.
Earlier, we were talking about food in New York. What's your favorite food in New York?
Pizza.
Pizza.
I mean, a good bacon, egg, and cheese and a hard roll is hard to beat, but like, I don't know, going elsewhere in like I'll eat Domino's when I'm on the road or some shit, you know, and it's like
Yeah.
fast food pizza. I kind of
Right.
picture other pizza most of the time being like fast food pizza compared to home pizza.
Okay.
So like I come home and I definitely look forward to a good grandma or a good white slice.
And do you have one place in particular that your
I
favorite?
grew up at Gino's in Long Beach, and that place rules. It's always been good. I had my 18th birthday there, and Gino he passed away a few years ago, but he started the joint and comes up big, huge Italian guy. My mom made this cake with a picture of me from my first Indo trip,
Okay.
and it's a picture of me with all the Jersey, New York guys, all the guys older than me,
Yeah.
as I'm taped up to the pole with like honey, hot sauce, fucking zinc beer,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
drenched, and I'm just taped up, can't move, and I'm like miserable, and
Yeah.
like, and it's on the cake, and he comes over and he sees the cake, and he's like, "Don't worry, I got you," and he gives me like $50, and I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" Ended up probably spending it all at his fucking place,
Yeah,
but
of
like,
course. Good shit though, right?
yeah, it was sick. I enjoyed it
What about bagels? New York have the best bagels? You
by
think?
far,
Okay, I think
by
so too,
far.
probably.
Yeah, I get 2 dozen every time I go to Hawaii. I'll put 2 dozen in a duffel
Oh,
bag and bring it with me.
there you go. Smart. That's
Yeah,
just,
yeah, everyone loves them. They're like twice the size of any bagel anywhere else.
and music. Does New York persuade you to listen to a certain kind of music because you're from that area, or you kind of opened up to everything?
I mean, I heard a lot of salsa growing up. My mom really loves
Really?
salsa music,
Okay.
but I mean, my brothers kind of introduced me to like my first kind of couple bands and artists. I guess I started listening to was like No Effects,
Oh, okay.
Offspring. Then it was like Big L and like I don't know. Mostly, my brother like only listened to Big L. It was pretty sick.
Okay.
And then like surf video music was like a big part of what I listened to growing up, and
Okay.
that's got everything kind of, you know.
Yeah.
So
What was your favorite surf movie? Did you have one in particular that you watched over and over?
um, I definitely had a few.
Okay.
I remember watching 3 Degrees like 100 times when I was a Grom
Okay.
because the Grom section in that was like when I was a Grom
Hmm.
was like fuck I want to be a fucking
Yeah.
be able to rip that hard at that age, you know,
Yeah.
like I didn't even know you could do that at that age. But I don't know. I mean, the decline was always on. I mean, like we still throw that on like late night. We'll just throw
After a couple
any of
beers
the
or
Lost
something.
movies.
Yeah.
But
So New York City has a lot of famous people, though, and you're kind of famous, and at least in the surf world, you're well known. Do you know any famous people in New York? Do you have any friends, like celebrity friends?
well, I mean, I guess yeah. Like I don't know. You run into a lot of people, and like funny thing about that apartment I had in Brooklyn was I met this dude Mike who owns Frank's Chop Shop. It was a barber shop in the Lower East Side.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Fletcher actually linked me up with him.
Okay.
It seemed to be everybody who's anyone comes through the shop and like says what up and hangs. And Prodigy had just passed away when this was going on, and so they were having like a hangout on Friday. This is like Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I meet the guy, and then he's like, "Yo, come through Friday." I could pull up, and it's just me and like 10 of Prodigy's boys, and
Wow.
like just Henny and blunts, whatever, going around.
Yeah.
And then there's one other dude in there that ends up being a surfer, and him and I rap out for a while. I
Mm-hmm.
ended up getting my apartment in Brooklyn from him because he sold the building and whatever. We got that cheap price, but he ends up being Biggie Smalls' right hand man. So
Wow.
like, yeah, it was like what, like we're just rapping. Didn't rap about music at all, you know,
Yeah.
and until the end, and then it was like holy shit, and then I lived in his building, so we were always hanging and got to hear all kinds of sick beats that he was making. And
Wow. That's cool.
yeah, Mateo, Matty C, Biggie's got him in a couple of his songs, but he's a man. He's just like fuck. He loves to surf and loves to make music.
Right on. Colin Jost guy. I don't even really know who he is. He's on Saturday Night Live. He's going to be announcing the Olympics. You know who that guy is?
Not
No.
sure. Honestly, it's real diluted. All the contests, there's not that rivalry no more. You know,
Yeah, yeah. So you're not even watching them?
you're seeing it all the time, like on Instagram. So you end up not watching a lot of it.
So you
And
don't watch surf contests anymore? Or
I
no?
mean,
A little bit?
I'll catch it if the waves are firing,
Yeah.
for sure, wherever it might be. But I definitely don't watch them as much as I used to.
Yeah. With that being said, and I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. Did you watch that Nia's contest a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I didn't. I saw the highlights though.
Dude, how good was that?
Yeah, that was sick. I was pretty bummed I wasn't fucking like that. That makes me wish I was still had like a seat in the QS or something.
Yeah. Well, Josh Kerr, I think he was just there because of his daughter, and got
Yeah,
second place.
yeah, that's so insane. I should have been on that one. That's one thing I guess we didn't really talk about is
Okay, talk about it.
the invite contests that are starting to pop up everywhere.
I like
It's
that idea.
It's like a whole new fill to what the tour is kind of missing in a
Yes.
sense of like good waves, mellow environment, party zone. Like
Yes.
it's good. So like you got the shootout in Hawaii and
Yep.
the Vans comp, and then the one in the Capitulo Perfeito in Portugal has been going on for a long time now. They score good waves. They got a month-long waiting period. Morocco's got one. Canary's got one. Like, they're pretty insane. And it's like my version of a contest run, I guess. you
Yeah,
know?
of course. Yeah.
And it's like the best of both worlds. You're getting really good waves and you're getting back into like our Jersey. Like,
So how many of those are you invited to?
it kind of like some of them fall on the same days.
Right.
And,
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
like the one in Portugal, I've done like, I think like 4 or 5 times now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to be in all of them. I'm trying to make a case for all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you got to raise your hand and ask to be in it, or do they come looking at you, or it depends?
It's more like they'll call you, for sure. But the Padang Cup was one I was really trying to get in. I think I was a little late, but that one sounds like it's one if you're there, you're in because there's only like 8 spots or something.
Wow. Okay. Your sponsors, like they're letting us see you get to surf, right? So I appreciate everyone that sponsors like pro surfers because
yeah, I've been fucking lucky with my sponsors. Everyone's been real good amongst the chaos. Like,
good.
Yeah, I'm stoked on everyone. Lucky enough to gain some new sponsors even recently, which is cool. I'm working with P448, which is a Italian shoe, like a sneaker brand.
Yeah.
Over based out of Italy, and they're getting into sports and skate and surf, and so they've been really supportive and really easy to work with. And Volcom's been true to the start, and which is cool. And they've been, they've been able to do movies and keep everyone going, and for the most part, and yeah, it's been good family setup.
Your boards, you got Chili boards. How long you been riding those?
I rode Mayhems for a long time, and then I actually rode a couple Chili's while he was with Mayhem, but Chili has been insane. It's like right when I got on Volcom, I got on Chili.
Okay.
Like around the same time, same year, I think. But yeah, it's been good. They've been really good boards. I use them for pipe and everywhere in the world. So I used to use like Arakawas, like Tokoros for pipe. I get the batch over there, but now they've got it pretty dialed. So
that's awesome. And how many boards are in your quiver? Do you have like a huge ass quiver?
I just got a big ass batch, like
so lucky.
Like 10 boards, 12 boards.
Cool.
Something I just got.
All right.
New. I gotta spend a couple hours setting them up. Used to be the funnest thing ever. Now it's a little bit of a task.
Okay. You just do one board a day or something.
Yeah, true. Yep.
That's the board you ride that day, I guess. Right?
Yeah, that's a good way to feel it out for sure.
And the fins, what kind of fins or system are you using and all that?
I use whatever uses Futures boxes.
Okay. You use Future or whatever.
I've been running all the Captain fins lately.
Okay.
Trying to get some of those soar fins from Oz. I think Harry Bryant's connected me. I'm ordering a couple of those fins. Those fins are insane. It seems like closest thing to glass-ons.
Okay. Yeah. Do you ever get your boards glassed on fins?
I used to. I haven't in a long time. It seems like it's pretty big hassle for guys nowadays. But
yeah. Interesting.
Just more time and more money, I guess. I mean, they still hold true better than any plug, in my opinion.
Fair enough. All right, everybody. So this is Mike and Balaram. Thank you for joining us, Balaram. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Always fun to talk about some memories that I haven't thought about in a little while.
That's awesome, man. All right, everybody. We're out of here. It's Mike and Balaram.
Man, this wave is out of sight. Going surfing. Going surfing. Going surfing with friends. ride this wave to the shore. Paddle out, I'm gonna catch 10 more. Going surfing, going surfing, going surfing with friends. I don't care if it's wrong or right. I'm gonna do it all day, I'm gonna do it all night. I'm going surfing, I'm going surfing, going surfing with friends. Watching up on my way. It's a beautiful day. I'm going surfing. I'm going surfing. Going surfing with friends. Woo!
Hey, you guys, Endless Summer box set. This thing is legit. It's authentic, numbered certificate in it. It has a 5-frame film strip from the original print. You will literally own a piece of history. It has a specially minted bronze medallion. Dude, that thing's sick. Okay, there's so much more here. Go to the show notes. There's a link on there. Go check this piece of history out. This thing's rad. Seriously. Smithsonian American History Museum has it. It took 4 years of research with 3.5 in production, all hand assembled. This thing's rad. So much to this awesome box set. Remastered DVD, sharper images than the original film, but dude, this thing's so sick. Link in the show notes.